Several white Americans stood in solidarity with black civil rights activists and were killed for their involvement during the civil rights movement. Here are some of the most well-known white allies who lost their lives for the cause. 1. Reverend James Reeb, 1927 to 1965. Who he was: a white Unitarian Universalist minister from Boston. What happened? After responding to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s call to clergy to come to Selma, Alabama, Reeb joined the marchers protesting the murder of Jimmy Lee Jackson and the suppression of black voting rights. How he died. On March 9, 1965, Reeb was brutally beaten by white segregationists on a Selma street. He died 2 days later in a Birmingham hospital. Impact. His death drew national outrage and helped galvanize support for the passage of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. 2. Viola Liuzzo, 1925 to 1965. Who she was: a white housewife and mother of 5 from Detroit, Michigan, and a member of the NAACP. What happened? She drove to Alabama after watching the violence in Selma on TV, wanting to help transport marchers and supplies. How she died. On March 25, 1965, the last day of the Selma to Montgomery March, she was shot and killed by members of the Ku Klux Klan while driving a black activist, Leroy Moton, to Montgomery. Impact. Her death shocked the nation and exposed the violent lengths white supremacists would go to maintain segregation. 3. Michael Schwerner, 1939 to 1964. Andrew Goodman, 1943 to 1964. Who they were: 2 white Jewish civil rights workers from New York, members of the Congress of Racial Equality, CORE. What happened? Along with black activist James Chaney, they went to Mississippi during Freedom Summer to help register black voters. How they died. All 3 men were abducted and murdered by the Ku Klux Klan near Philadelphia, Mississippi, on June 21, 1964. Impact. Their disappearance and deaths drew international attention and led to one of the largest FBI investigations of the era, a turning point in public support for the civil rights movement. 5. Jonathan Daniels, 1939 to 1965. Who he was: an Episcopal seminarian from New Hampshire. What happened? Daniels answered Dr. King's call to come to Selma to help black citizens register to vote. How he died. On August 20, 1965, he was shot and killed by a white deputy sheriff in Hayneville, Alabama, after shielding a young black activist, Ruby Sales, from the gunfire. Impact. Daniels was later honored as a martyr by the Episcopal Church for his courage and sacrifice.